Hello peeps and welcome back to Gult's Gorge. Alright, so the last time we were on here, which was admittedly longer ago than I wanted it to be, I was going to record on Friday, but I had some severe internet trouble. It's been fixed now, so yay. Alright, last time we were in here, we built this power matrix, which is currently sitting on about 4 billion RF, which is enough to run the base for a couple of days on nominal power. Right now, the only power we're getting in is from this reactor. And we still have plenty of yellorium left, but I have exhausted all of the power crystals for this deep resonance generator, made a new set, and exhausted them. So, we are going to want a better supply of power. I have an idea for it, but it's going to take some setup. Now, another thing that we have going on in here, and my headset is popping really bad tonight, and I don't know why. But I checked my audio. You can't hear it in the audio, so it's just something I'm going to have to deal with. I also opened all of those dimlet parcels between episodes. And I ended up with an absolute crap ton of parts of the basic variety. I also ended up with a few rare parts. We have 64 plus 4 of the circuit rarity 4. We have 35 of the circuit rarity 5, and we actually got 2 of the circuit rarity 6, which is awesome. Now, what I think I'm going to do for power generation is I want to do a big reactor build, and I'm not talking about what we've got in here. I'm talking about something that's not going to be steam powered because I don't want to have to supply that much water to it. I'm talking about a passive generator that's going to put out an unholy amount of power. That is, however, going to require an unholy amount of fuel. So, options for fuel. We can go out and mine it as normal, but bear in mind that yellorium ore is relatively rare in the world. It's difficult to target, and I don't feel like, I mean, we could go out and just, target the yellorium ore and take the digital miner out and gather up a bunch of it, but the reactor I'm thinking about building is going to eat probably about an ingot a second. So what I have in here would only last about 500 seconds. That's not exactly optimal. Unfortunately, yellorium is blacklisted from RF Tools Dimensions. You can't make a world out of yellorium. You can make a world out of fluid yellorium. Let's take a look in here. You can make a reactor out of fluid yellorium. You can't make it out of yellorium ore. Now, if we take a look at yellorium, the fluid yellorium that's in here, you'll see we can bottle it, but we can't do anything else with it. We can't get it back into ingots. And you can't pump this into the reactor in any way. Fluid yellorium is a fluid that exists only inside the reactor rods of an active reactor. So if we were to open this thing up and look in it, we would see that the fuel cell or the fuel rods in there are full of a yellow liquid. That's the fluid yellorium. There's no way to put that in there yourself. It's created by the reactor as only a visual effect. So fluid yellorium is useless, unfortunately. However, there is another trick we can use. Yellorium is covered by the ingot uranium ore dictionary definition. So uranium ingots from immersive engineering are freely swappable with yellorium ingots. You can put uranium ingots into a reactor and it will work. However, if we look in here, only molten uranium exists as an option. Well, crap, right? No, not crap. Because we can work with this. molten uranium can be cast into uranium ingots. Now, it can also be cast into uranium blocks from industrial craft. However, industrial craft uranium blocks break down into uranium-238, which is not usable. As a matter of fact, this stuff will beat the shit out of you if you're carrying it around without a reactor suit on. This, the only use for that is making fuels, which you can actually make MOX fuel using plutonium ingots. Plutonium is reprocessed from... There's a plutonium reprocessor that changes cyanides into plutonium. You can actually use that to make this MOX fuel. But enriched uranium fuel, you can only get if you're using tiny piles of uranium. But you can see here that yellorium and uranium ingot uranium accepts any. But this isn't considered ingot uranium. What we need to do is we need to get a way to get a fluid. We need an ocean world with the oceans made out of molten uranium. Then we can pump that molten uranium up and cast it into uranium ingots and turn that into reactor fuel. So we're going to need a few things to get going. First of all, we're going to need a biome absorber. Which means we're going to need a few machine frames because we're going to need a second type of absorber. There's our biome absorber. We're also going to need a liquid absorber, which is some wool and some buckets. There we go. We're also going to need a bunch of molten uranium. And I'm going to need the casting basin because I've got some stuff in here that I need to get rid of. We take a look in here. I've got some molten manulian that I had in place. So let's break this, put the casting basin down, and we'll select that. We'll start pumping that out. And then we're going to go ahead and toss in our uranium ore. The uranium ore from industrial craft will also melt down into immersive engineering uranium. So we can use this. We can freely substitute that, which is, I think, pretty awesome. Capacity here is 64 ingots. So let's go get a hopper so we can toss this in. We'll attach the hopper on there, and we'll just toss all of this uranium in. We'll let that start cooking out. I'm going to break this out real quick just so that I can get at the side of this, because I need to be able to get at the side of this to control what is coming out. And holy crap, this is annoying to listen to. I'm so glad you guys can't hear this popping. Okay, let's pull up our journey map, because I need to find an ocean biome. We need to go absorb the terrain from an ocean biome. There's one right over here. So if we go pretty much due west, and I'm going to shift into fast mode flight, which you can do by holding down control while you're flying, by the way, if you didn't know that already. We're going to fly out to the west here until we hit that ocean. And then I'm temporarily going to claim one of the chunks and chunk load it so that it stays open. We're looking for it to become ocean. There we go. Now, we could go for deep ocean, but I don't know if that's going to be necessary. So let's just go for ocean. We'll go, say, right here. Yeah, right here will work. So we'll pop that down. Then we're going to pop down the biome absorber. And the biome absorber is going to start absorbing the ocean biome. You'll see it runs pretty fast. Claim chunks. I'm going to claim the chunk that I'm in. Chunk load it. You shithead. Friggin' Guardians. Okay, we're going to let that sit here and absorb while we go home. Actually, let's waypoint this first. Alright, good. Now, I'm going to need a bucket. I'll go ahead and grab a few of them. Break this out. I'm going to put the casting table down. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to put the casting table down. Put the ingot cast in here. And I'm going to cast out the other liquids. Then I need to go get a tank. I really wish I knew why this crackling was so bad tonight. It didn't start until I started recording. And it annoys the crap out of me. Looking at my audio levels, you guys might actually be able to hear some of the popping. It might be, it's gotten that loud. Kind of a pain in the ass. So we'll cast out the rest of this molten aluminum brass. This will get us to the aluminum, which also cools really fast. I think that gets us to the molten uranium. Yes. We'll break this out. We'll break that off. And we're going to put a tank on here, and we're going to start pumping out the uranium into a tank. Basic portable tanks, basic fluid tanks. That holds 14 buckets. These hold 1,000 buckets. These are upgradable. So are these, really. All it takes is some enriched alloy and some iron. You get one that holds twice as much. But really, I don't need that much. We just need, let's see, yeah, pressurized fluid conduit will do. Actually, no. We're going to need a mechanical pipe. And my configurator. The reason I'm using the mechanical pipe is because I'm using a tank from Mechanism to hold this. And Mechanism's pipes don't like, or Mechanism's items don't like to play nice with some of the other mods, like Ender.io. So we're going to set this to pull, and that's going to fill this up with fluid uranium. Okay. We're going to put this down. We're going to put a bucket of uranium in here. We're actually going to pour this into the world. I would not suggest getting anywhere near this. So I imagine it's probably going to kill you pretty quick if you get in it. But we'll place the liquid absorber down. Oh yeah, notice how fast it burned that? And when we put that down, this liquid absorber is going to pick up that molten uranium. Now it's just a matter of getting enough buckets of molten uranium into this thing. That's 4%. We're 10%. How are we doing for melting? Well, we could probably be doing this faster if I was using pyrotheum, but I'm not, so we're having to deal with this the old-fashioned way. Up to 14%. Now, I can actually change this and automate it a little bit by using a fluid placer. So let's go get a fluid placer. Fluid placer is from Actually Additions. It's an auto placer with a couple of buckets. Auto placer is really easy to make. We just need a coil. There's the auto placer. There's the fluid placer. We'll also get some more of this Elite mechanical pipe. And we'll put the fluid placer down right here. Can't remember. I think that's the side that places. And we're going to go ahead and just run the mechanical pipe from the tank. And we'll configure that to pull. And that is going to automate the placing of the liquid uranium for us. So as this melts, it'll automatically place. Let's go get, first of all, let's break out this portable tank and this fluid conduit. Let's get another seared tank and get some pyrotheum. See if we can speed this up a little bit. Pyrotheum dust, when melted in a magma crucible, 4 of these gives you a bucket. So I have enough for 4 buckets. Let's get the magma crucible. We'll go ahead and just pop that down right in the middle of the living room here. Pop that in there. I'm going to get my crystal binder. And we'll see that I'm currently fixed on that crystal over there. It doesn't really matter how far it is. It'll still link, which I think is really, really nice. So we're making blazing pyrotheum. We'll just pop a tank on top of here to hold the pyrotheum. Config to the outs, or config out to the top. We'll get a seared tank. Pop that down. Get ourselves a bucket. Get some pyrotheum. Drop that in there. Break you. Break you. Place you. And that's going to use the pyrotheum eventually. I believe it will have to burn through. Oh, nope. We're using pyrotheum. Actually, we're not using it yet. Why are we not doing anything? Why is this not working with pyrotheum? Might have to break out the smeltery controller to completely reset the smeltery. Okay. You gonna work now? Why is this blue? Not enough heat to melt this item. Blazing pyrotheum doesn't have enough heat? 4,000 degrees. Okay, whatever. I guess we won't use pyrotheum then, huh? Thought pyrotheum was hotter than lava. Could have sworn pyrotheum was hotter than lava. Another thing we can do for safety's sake, since we're not pouring out a tremendous amount of the stuff at once. Yeah, this is 1,000 degrees. The pyrotheum's 4 times as hot. Why is it not working? Don't care. Don't know. Whatever. There. Just drop that in. We'll get that cooking down. We're at 25% here, so good. Let's fly back out to the west, to my biome absorber out here, and see if we've successfully absorbed that biome. By now I would think we would have. Man, I'm actually really kind of salty over that pyrotheum. It's 4 times hotter. But yet not enough heat to melt this item. Bullshit. Okay, drop down. Biome absorber ocean 100%. There we go. We can go ahead and delete this waypoint now. Guess we could also get rid of the rest of this fluid pyrotheum, huh? Oh well, I'll find a use for it eventually. Just break all of this and put it away. Okay, don't have any more uranium in there. Biome absorber ocean. Alright, so we are going to need to start building a world, and for that we're going to need an empty dimlet tab. Empty dimension tab, get. Pop that in our dimension inscriber. Now we just need to get the different dimlets that we're going to need. We are going to need the ocean biome. So we're going to grab some base parts. We're going to grab some basic memory units, some basic energy modules, some dimlet controller 0 and 1 rarities. Let's see, where is the biome controller? Biome type controller, we're going to need that. And we'll pop in all of this crap. And we'll pick the ocean biome. Bam. Biome dimlet ocean. Okay? We're going to need the molten uranium liquid type. So we need tier 3 modules for this. We're also going to need a dimlet controller rarity 5. So we're just going to go ahead and grab that. We're going to need the fluid type controller, liquid type. There we go. Go ahead and pop those in. Now we just need the absorber. And I should do a terrain type also. I should do terrain type normal. Let's get a terrain absorber. Because we want normal terrain, because otherwise we could possibly get a void world or something weird. How are we doing with our absorber over here? 39%? Okay. 40%? Is there any way to get this molten uranium other than smelting it? No, you pretty much have to smelt it. I mean, it is going relatively fast, I guess, ish. We're at 42%. Okay, well, while that's running, let's do something else that I've been meaning to do for a long time. We have power now, and this armor is worn out. So we're going to go ahead and start the Draconic Evolution armor, which starts with the Wyvern tier. This is going to require a few basic parts. It requires some Draconium. Each part requires a Wyvern core. Each part requires a Wyvern energy core, and then it requires the diamond part or the diamond armor of the normal type. The Wyvern cores are Draconic cores, Nether stars, and Draconium, so not too bad. Draconium are these things, if you remember, are just like that. We can actually craft the Draconic cores, and we actually already have 16 of them. So we're going to need a total of what are we going to need? We're going to need 4 of these Wyvern cores to start. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're also going to need the Wyvern energy core, which is Draconic cores, blocks of redstone. So we'll just grab a bunch of blocks of redstone. Wyvern energy cores, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to need a full set of diamond armor. So there's the leggings, chest plate, helmet, and boots. That'll give us the Wyvern helm. It's going to charge on the battery that I have in my inventory here. The Wyvern chest plate, Wyvern leggings, and Wyvern boots. We're also going to want to get this Wyvern flux capacitor, which is 4 of these energy cores, 1 more of these Wyvern cores. So we're going to need... Thought I added Draconic cores to this. Whatever. We need 1 more of these. We need 4 of these. And Disco, Wyvern flux capacitor. Now this is not going to charge off the battery in my inventory because it's already dead. This armor allows you to use a force shield instead of the damage reduction that this gives. Like 70% of damage is absorbed by power with this. That's great. That's awesome. But that means some of the damage is getting through. You can still take damage while wearing this. This stuff is a little different. When I put this on, you'll immediately notice I have a shield indicator down at the bottom here. Well, what does that do? If I come take a dip in some lava, first of all, you'll notice I am fire immune now. That can't hurt me anymore. Let's come out here and find an enemy. Like this spider. Hi, spider. I am taking no damage whatsoever. from any of this. My shield is depleting slightly as I get hit, but I'm not taking damage. However, you'll notice there's some other numbers in the bottom. EN stands for entropy. That is the shield's effectiveness. As you continue taking damage, your entropy goes up. As the entropy goes up, the shield becomes less effective. It consumes more energy, it recharges less quickly. At 100% entropy, your shield fails. So I'm going to let my entropy get up to 100% here. You'll notice that my shield is now taking longer and longer to recharge. At 100% entropy, my shield is failing entirely. It cannot recharge anymore. Once the shield's depleted, I'll start taking normal damage. Now, that damage is going to be based off of diamond armor protection, so I'm still not going to die instantly. But, yeah. If I back away, my entropy starts to drop because I've stopped taking damage. My shield starts to recharge. It's consuming a lot of power to do it, but my shield is recharging. My entropy is continuing to drop. Shield is back to full strength. Entropy is still dropping. Okay, so awesome stuff. However, that burns quite a bit of power doing that. We're going to have to recharge this thing every once in a while. I want faster recharge capability. So we're going to want to get, where is it in here? We're going to want to get the energy infuser, which is an energy core stabilizer, an enchantment table, some more of those draconic cores. Let's get the enchantment table first. The energy core stabilizer is just a particle generator, which if you remember right is those, with some diamonds. And we need a couple more of those draconic cores. And boom, energy infuser. The energy infuser is a block that allows you to recharge your equipment. Let's put it here. It looks pretty awesome too. Okay, let's bind that to our energy network over there. Actually, I don't want to bind it to that one. I want to bind it to this one. That is now bound. If we take a look at this, it has an internal buffer of 10 million. And if I toss this in here, it's going to start charging real fast. I'm not even sure how much this is pulling. We can probably get a pretty good guess if I come over here and take a look at this. We're outputting 128,000 RF a tick right now. If you bear in mind that my base uses usually about 600, that means that thing is pulling 128,000 RF tick. Piss off. And now it's full. Let's go ahead and fully charge my armor. Another nice thing about the draconic armor is that it does not have durability. Unlike my other armor, which was slowly depleting over time, the durability was eventually going to wear out, this does not have that. Now, shift right click to change mode. Shift right click, mode, charge armor, charge held items, charge armor and held items. Okay. This battery, we don't need that anymore because this drill will be charged by this flux capacitor. Place an item down, drill it, bam, no problem, charge that out of the capacitor. So that battery is now irrelevant. So one other item that I want to make. I want to make the draconic bow, the bow of the wyvern. Wyvern core, which we should be pretty used to the idea of needing these things by now. Come back here. Draconic core, we're going to need 5 of them. And one of you. want a U. We need a full durability bow. And that will get us U, the bow of the wyvern. Charge him up. Bam, we got it. Now, the bow of the wyvern does still require arrows. Let's fix that. The Infinity enchantment can be created in an enchanter with an ender pearl and 15 lapis, plus a book and quill. So let's get the book and quill. We'll get the lapis. Let's change this out of craftable mode. We'll get the ender pearl. And we'll come upstairs where I have my enchanter. We'll take some levels out of this, because I'm going to need some levels. The enchanter, boom, boom, boom. Enchanted book, infinity. Out to the anvil. Still only 57% on that. Am I out of uranium? I am out of uranium. We only hit 57%. Okay, that gets us the bow of the wyvern with the infinity enchantment. Now, the bow of the wyvern, you draw it, you fire. It's a pretty normal bow. Doesn't require arrows if it has the infinity enchantment on. Does quite a bit of damage. However, you can use the tool mode change key, which I have bound to numpad 6, to change tool profiles. This allows you to change various aspects of your Draconic Evolution stuff, like the wyvern helm. Well, there's nothing on the wyvern helm, but the chest plate, yeah, nothing on there either. The leggings, there's a speed modifier. You can increase the speed modifier to run faster. Boost on sprint. If you have the speed modifier turned up, you only get it while you're sprinting, yada yada. Wyvern boots, jump modifier, can change this so you jump faster. And boost on sprint only gives the jump modifier while you're boosting. But the bow of the wyvern has a lot of them. Arrow-based damage, 2.0. You can turn it down if you want to use less power, but do less damage. Velocity modifier, we're going to set it to 100%. This affects the arrow damage. It also affects the distance it can fire. Auto fire fires automatically when fully charged. You can turn that on and just hold the bow, and it'll automatically fire every time the arrow hits full power. Magnification, you can use that to zoom in your shots up to 300%, so you can take long-range shots with more precision. Explosion power allows you to put an explosion factor on your arrows so that wherever it hits, it explodes, like a creeper or like TNT. I don't like it. So we're going to keep what we have here. You can see that arrow fires a lot farther now. Goes a lot farther, goes a lot faster, does a lot more damage. Let's go shoot a cow with it. Or a pig. Ah, piggo. Dead piggo. So, that does quite a bit of damage. We're going to need this for one of the other things that I'm going to be doing. But we're not going to do that this episode. This episode, I think we're actually going to call here, because this is only 57% done, and in order to actually start working on the next project that I have in mind, I need that biome absorber, or that liquid absorber, to be 100%. So I am going to go do some mining off camera with the digital miner, get some more of that uranium, and then we'll come back, and next episode we will create our dimension that we can use to go get good stuff. For right now, though, this has been Night Dagger with episode, I don't even remember, of Let's Play on Gult's Gorge. Hope you guys are enjoying the series so far, and I'll catch you later, peeps.